YouTube fam, what's going on? Today we're going to be talking about something very interesting. We're going to be looking at different stores and checking out the net profits of these stores, guys. You don't want to miss this one. I wanted to do a pretty quick video this time, so without further ado, guys, let's check out some stores and jump into it. But before we do that, if you could do two quick things, if you could hit that subscribe button to stay up to date, new videos, new content, and hit that like button so that this can be pushed out to more people and so that we can make more of these videos for you guys. So again, without further ado, let's jump into the stores here. Okay guys, so today we're going to be looking at three different stores. I'm going to be pulling up a newer store for you guys, one that's a bit more aged, and then one that has over a year, about a year, almost a year and a half of sales. So just going to be looking at the differences between a few different stores. A lot of people in FBA, when they start off, they think that it takes a year, 2-3 years to really make any sales. That's just, some people seem to think that, but that isn't the case. So I'm going to show this store, for example. This is a pretty new store. It's been around for roughly 6 months. Well, we're going to check out the exact sales history here. So let's check this out and just really see what it looks like when it comes to the sales side of things. Okay, so we're going to go to the business reports, and then we're going to just check out here again, go to Amazon, and we're going to check the year-to-date sales. Okay, so we're going to be checking this out and seeing what it looks like in terms of the sales for this year. So this store itself, revenue wise and it basically got started in June. So we pretty much have June, July, August, September, October, and November in actual sales. So pretty much 5 months of sales data. Now, this is something that takes, basically some significant time to see some really good growth. As you see at the start, this store, for example, it did pretty well though, all things considered. The pretty much second month in, we did 12,000+ in sales, almost 13,000 in sales. Okay, so the next month, as you can just see there, things started to ramp up, and that's really what's happened in this store. But what are the actual amounts that the store made? Well, let's pull up the charts here so you guys can actually have an actual breakdown and see that. So let's pull that up here. Okay, so as you can see in this case, right, we did right here in gross sales, we did about 42,240, and this isn't counting November, by the way. So the last couple weeks of November we are not counting because we send out reports after the full month has been completed. So again, the month of November is not looked into yet. So again, that's going to be, we've already got a ton of sales for November, but we're not talking November, October, June to October there. So we did, again, 42,240. This is after returns. Okay, the COGS for this happened to be $12,379. And as we go down, the most important part is checking out the net profit, right? At the end of the day, the net profit is everything. It's what you're putting into your business and what is actually seen on a net basis. And again, a lot of people have been asking to see. So, without further ado, we're going to be exploring that and checking it out within a few different stores. So in this case, the net profit for this client has been, sitting at about $2,000 a month. Okay, so this particular client made a little over $10,000 in net. Okay, so he's had a store for roughly 6 months, and he's already done roughly a little over 10,000 in actual net. Okay, so if we look at the actual margin of that, he's been averaging about 23% margins. Okay, so as you can see, the first 2-3 months, it was about sitting at 13% the first month, 21% the second month, and so on and so forth, right? Every single store is going to be different. This is something that we always say is like, you can be selling similar products, and sometimes the store takes off right away, other times it takes a bit longer. Like, every store is going to have differences. Sometimes even seasoned stores don't produce as many sales as like a newer store, for example, if you have a lot of bad ratings on that store. So every store is a little bit different. Okay, so again, in this case, this is a newer store, so these are breaking down numbers on a newer store for you guys. So let's check out a store that has a bit more age to it. That way you guys can check out how that looks. So I'm going to be pulling up another store that again has more age to it, so you guys can see what that looks like in terms of the sales and actual net amounts from everything like that. So we're going to be checking this store out here for you guys. Okay, so today $411 in sales, not too bad. Let's go to the actual business reports and check that out. So okay, so this store, we're going to be looking at this year to date, and back on the Amazon tab, we're going to apply that. We're going to check out this store. Okay, so this store got started at the start of the year. Okay, so essentially right at the beginning of this year of 2021, the store got started, and as you can see, pretty much month over month, it's been a climb, right? You know, essentially it's just been a store that's been continually growing, and again has, you know, about 10 months of sales history within it. So we're going to be checking out that and see what it looks like. And again, this is a store that had really good months. It had some months that weren't so great. It was kind of, you know, it's been all over the place in terms of the net amounts and everything like that. So let's check it out and let's see what it looks like with this store. Okay, so this is the, let's go to the top here, 1 second. We're going to be checking out, first of all, I'm going to show you guys as we scroll down this. Okay, so sales, all right. Gross sales to date, 133,000. Again, this is after returns. COGS on that were $49,987. Sorry. The gross profit that was generated was $83,000, 255 bucks. But again, the most important part is always looking at, okay, all these things are great, but what's the actual net amount? So looking at this store here, guys, we have $26,897 in net. Okay, this client did nearly $27,000 net. This is not counting November, by the way. This year, okay, $27,000 in net. And what is the average amount? Now we're going to check that out, because this store, for example, is one that's been fluctuating a fair amount. So if we look at that and we check it out, okay, so if we go down here, we're going to see that this client has been averaging 25% net margins. However, it's changed a lot month over month. You know, some months were really good, some months weren't so great. So, you know, let's check that out. Obviously, with like January, for example, I mean, that's a month that was just, you know, not like he didn't have many sales the first month. So looking at the February, March, April, and so on and so forth, you can see in this case it started to kind of balance out at about 25%. And the last few months, again, have been a bit lower. However, November is looking really good, so I know that'll compensate for the last few months before that. However, in this case, again, the average has been about 25% for this client, and you know, again, he's netted close to $27,000 in the first 10 months of the year. Okay, that's not considering November and December, and his November is looking really nice. So already, you know, we're already at over 11,000 in sales, and you know, definitely we're about halfway done the month so far, and we're just putting a bunch of product in a store right now. So again, this client has done a fair amount in net, and this is somebody that places pretty good sized orders, and you know, it really goes to show when you do that. When you place inventory, when you place higher orders, you're going to see higher returns, guys. It's just how it works. The wholesale model does require a fair amount of capital, so you want to make sure that you're well equipped when getting a store within the wholesale industry. So going, I'm going to check out one more store, guys, just for you, just to really show a few different examples and everything like that. Okay, so let's check this out. Let's go to right here. We're gonna look at one more for you guys, just so you guys can see different examples, people that have been with us for a bit longer, people that have had newer stores. We like to really just display as much as we can, so then that way you guys have a good overview and can really see what it looks like owning a store in the long run, because that's what it's all about. You know, here at Smart FBA, we're all about thinking long term, getting clients to have that mindset and those types of things, guys. So without further ado, let's check out this store. Okay, this is a client that's been pretty consistent with his order sizes. He started off, you know, pretty much, I mean, close to a year and a half ago now. So let's check out his store and really just see what it looks like. Okay, so we're gonna again go to Amazon, check this out. So this is a client. He started his journey with us, again, close to a year and a half ago now. And things have just been very steady. I mean, you know, you can see here the steady growth that his store has had, you know, over the course of time. And he started to up his order sizes the last couple months. So I really expect by the time we get this next order in, his sales are going to really come up and everything like that. So yeah, just looking at his store and looking at the overall trend, I mean, again, it's really trending upwards. So this is someone, again, that's been very steady with his order sizes. So let's check out what the net looks like with this particular store, okay? So if we come here and we check it out, we're gonna see here what it looks like, okay? So year to date, gross sales after returns, $91,188. His COGS on that were $33,306. Gross profit, $57,882. Coming down to the most important thing, drum roll please. Well, I actually already showed it, so I'm a little late there. But okay, so we're looking at $19,218. And again, this has been a pretty steady growing store. He's sitting at about 20% margins, and you know, it's been very steady. You know, a couple months we've had lower ones, you know, 15, 14%. Other months we've had higher net months, 29, 33%. August was one of our worst months we had. We had a lot of products we had to turn. So, I mean, as you can see, the reflected 5% margins was a horrendous month, but you know, nonetheless, it was still positive, and that's the whole important part. So yeah, sitting at an average of 20% net is what this client's done so far. And you know, again, the net amount on that has been a little over $19,000. So this is really what it looks like, guys, as your store grows. And obviously, like I mentioned, every store is different, okay? Sometimes you're gonna have higher amounts, sometimes you're gonna have lower amounts. The important part is to make sure that you're being consistent with your orders and always looking at the long term within your store. So then that way you can account for months that are a bit lower, months that are higher. You can then use towards putting in more inventory. That's the whole goal with the wholesale model, is to always have a consistent supply of products within your store to make sure that you always are consistent and you diversify your orders and really keep up with the revenue that's needed to produce these types of figures, okay?